I'm Tom Kyllo, Kristen's dad.
I'm Julie Kyllo, Kristen's mom.
Lived in Vienna, Virginia. We've been here probably almost 25 years. When we moved in, it was kind of a small community outside of DC, but really family-oriented. Lots of things for the kids to do. Just one of those great towns that for kids to grow up and running around and being with their other friends. Kristen was one of those kids who didn't have any fear. Everybody was like a potential friend to Kristen.
And she was really competitive.
Oh God, yeah.
They started experimenting with soccer and basketball and softball, but she really liked the cheers and the softball, and she liked the social aspect, and she was like, okay, this is it. She was all in.
She's like a tiny little ball of energy. She likes to joke around. She knows everybody. Everybody knew her. Just very funny, but she also had a great work ethic.
She was unapologetically herself, for sure. The biggest spark from the moment we met her.
She just treated everybody really nicely and really well. She always said she was going to go to Princeton. We had her look at other schools, but she was like, no, I'm going to Princeton. And I was like, don't get your hopes up. But she was convinced that's what she was doing. Once you get to a school where it's like, that's you know it. And I think she just said, that's where I want to go.
It's one of those things where she makes her mind up on what she wants, and she's like, well, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's just, for some reason, she always wanted to be at Princeton. She's worn the number 2 since she was probably...
Since 10U.
Since 8U.
8U.
Yeah, 8U. She was always number 2. We had to tell her, you're going to a college program now, and you are at the bottom rung. And you probably aren't going to get number 2. And she's like, well, I am 2. I can't be anything else other than 2. That's what I am.
Nikki had said, I remember her messaging me on Facebook Messenger before she got here saying, Nikki, I really want number 2. Do you think that's okay? Do you think I can have it? And she was like, you're going to have to ask coaches. She loved 2. She was eager to wear that number from the start. She was so committed and so fearless and so determined to just be the best, which is so much what Princeton's about, right? It's like being the best person, athlete, student, human you can be. And she embodied that.
She really wanted to be there. And we're happy that that was her dream and she lived her dream. It was during basketball season. She just started getting worn out and tired, and then one day we got a call from school that she had passed out, and they think she had had a seizure. She continued to have the seizures. She had quite a few experts really do some studies and take a look at her. She was really set on getting back on the field because it was her senior year and she had already committed, and she's like, do not tell Princeton. Don't tell, I'm going to get over this. I'm going to get over this.
Because we had kind of made the decision that we should probably keep her home for the first year from Princeton. But she just made up her mind that no matter what we said, no matter what anybody said, she was going to put herself in a position where she could do this that she'd always wanted to do. She didn't want it to define her, I don't think.
One day she goes, why is this happening to me? Why would God have this happen to me? Which I'm sure a lot of people with diseases ask themselves that question. But she approached it like sports. She approached it head on. And they kept saying she'll outgrow them, the seizures. That's what doctors believed. But no one ever told us about SUDEP, which is sudden unexpected death from epilepsy. We had no idea that you could die from a seizure.
She didn't talk about it. She just lived. The only thing she ever said that I think kind of haunts us still is that she was afraid to fall asleep, because that was when she was most likely to have a seizure. I remember, I think it was Nikki saying, every time I hear an ambulance on campus, I pray it's not her. Like, we knew how serious it was. We just didn't know what could actually happen. Yeah.
She was scheduled to come home for break. You know, she was going to take the train home, so we talked about taking the train and make sure you get your tickets. She just was, you know, she was just going to be home, and things, you know, that's the last time we talked, really.
It was horrible. It was just, you know, something you can't wrap your head around.
They had a huge vigil at the high school.
I think that's when you kind of see the impact that someone has on people. If you have to take a snapshot of one point in your life that was the best time in your life to end on, Kristen was able to do that. She lived a non-stop, amazing life. And she left the world at the best time of her life and happy. And the thing that's going to get us through is that we will look in all of your faces and we'll see Kristen, and we'll see the effect that she had on you. And this is such a wonderful community.
Out of respect for Kristen, their family, her teammates, I was committed to no one's going to wear number 2 until we feel like the right time. And I don't know what that was. I'm not sure I had a timeline or an idea, but it was like, this is an untouchable number for now. This is Kristen's legacy, and we're going to keep it that way.
Somebody said, you know, there's somebody on the Madison team that's going to Princeton or looking at Princeton. And I said, well, I've got to go see this girl. I didn't know who the family was, and I didn't know which one she was. But I noticed watching the shortstop, I was like, whoa, who is that? She was just on fire. She was just like Kristen, diving for balls and making plays, and she was hitting. And somebody said, yeah, I think Graciela is going to Princeton. I went, oh my gosh.
Graciela started playing softball when she was 7 years old in New York City. When we were moving to this area, I wanted to find a community. Did some research, and I quickly found that Vienna was that place. Sports means a lot to this town. This high school means a lot to this town. Graciela showed an aptitude for softball at a very young age.
Boom! Yes! Yeah! Okay! Atta girl, first at bat.
During our state championship run in high school, Julie came to our game, and I saw she had a Princeton shirt on, and we were curious. As the game progressed, Julie kept getting closer and closer to us, and we finally talked. And she mentioned that she's heard good things about Graciela, that her daughter also played at Madison, that her daughter also played at Princeton. And I want to talk a little bit about the number 2. It's been her number her whole life. And our star player was Derek Jeter. He played shortstop. She always played middle infielder. So it's always a number that she's always wanted to have.
I think it was a sign. Here this wonderful player and young woman came along. She is from the same school. She needs to be number 2.
I remember talking with Julie. She just said, Lisa, it's time. And I knew exactly what she meant. That's the person I want to see wearing my daughter's number. That was really, really special.
She introduced herself, said, hi, I'm Khristin Kyllo. She told me the story of her daughter who played at my same high school, was shortstop, wore the number 2, and was also a lefty hitter, recruited and played softball at Princeton. She was like, I love the way you play. I can tell that you love the game, and I want to pass down my daughter's number to you.
We were taken aback because we knew the number was retired. And it's just a beautiful honor. It's just an incredible gesture from the Kyllo family. It just talks about like the sense of community that we have, and I'm just proud of my daughter for earning that honor from the Kyllo family, and I know that she's going to do the number right.
Fans, welcome back. Today's game is the Purple Game for Epilepsy Awareness. Each year, Princeton softball plays this Purple Game to raise awareness for epilepsy in memory of our teammate, Khristin Kyllo.
We started the Purple Game early in my career. It was a chance for, I think, all of us to use Kristen's story to help others and to educate people. Julie sent me a ton of information, organizations that had supported them, both through Kristen's life and after her passing, that we shared then with the team, and then we got to share it more broadly with the softball community. And I think that's been a really important aspect, is just sharing and educating as much as we can. We had a new fellow come as part of our team, Michael Kelly, and he shared that he had epilepsy and that we had done a Purple Game. I'm not sure he would have brought it up had we not had this already kind of in place. And so it was another kind of point of emphasis to the team. There are people who are impacted by this on the daily.
It really helped us get through a lot, being able to go up there, being able to really meet Lisa and what she did emotionally to support all the girls that were on the team was phenomenal.
Watching Gracie know Kristen's story and want to have that connection with the Kyllo family, that's been amazing. You know, when Julie came to the Purple Game this year, Gracie's like, Julie's here? And like dropped everything, and she understands there was a gap for a reason, and that this number is hers with a caveat. It's been beautiful to watch her kind of step into that and feel like this number was waiting for you.
Batting 6th at second base, number 2, Graciela Dominguez.
I'm just so happy to be able to cheer for a number 2. It brings back memories. Absolutely.
The Princeton community has been amazing in our journey. And I think this is just another part of that journey, this handing over the number 2 to the next person. We would never have been able to get through this without Princeton. And we'll never forget that.